And welcome back, everybody, to not just a complete episode of the TV show. I'm back, but we have an expanded roster today. My name is Jay Black, joined as always by the lovely and talented Rhea Hughes, the talented Angelo Cataldi, can't say lovely there, and this spectacular Glen MacNow, a man who you're going to be able to see with Joe Conklin and Ray Dittinger on August 6th at the Ocean City Music Pier to present their show, The Greatest Moments in Philadelphia Sports History. He came on to talk about that, but he is also a world-renowned TV critic, so we're going to talk TV with him as well. How are we, gang?
All right, I got to time out. I'm already unhappy. All right.
Oh,
Last week, Rhea and I thought, did a fine podcast.
You did a great show, Angelo.
No, now you say I got no feedback from you whatsoever while you were on the Titanic or whatever the hell boat you were on. And then you said, I think we need more people on the show. Let's get MacNow in here. Rhea, he didn't like the two-person show.
No, probably not. Too much of us.
Not only did I not like it, not only did I love it, I am expecting people to write in to tell me, Jay, you're not necessarily needed for this. You can just go on vacation as often as you want because it was great. You guys are so good together. And we have Glen on now. You guys are radio gods. I am just a comedian that asked you to join me, and you did. You're spectacular.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, look, Angelo, it's insincere. I don't buy it.
If you can fake sincerity, you can do anything. All right, let's jump into it, guys. Bloomberg had a piece that I thought was pretty interesting about Netflix's biggest hits. They do a season. It gets a lot of attention, time. People love it. It wins Emmys. But the season twos are doing very poorly. Beef won some Emmys and then lost 70% of its viewers. Good Girl's Guide to Murder dropped 80%. Avatar: The Last Bender, 60%. The Night Agent, 50%. Glen, what's going on here? Why are people not watching the second seasons of these shows?
Well, I think more and more shows are now written to have one great storyline, and then they get renewed, and they can't match the storyline in the second season. This is not like TV back in the day where it's like, okay, a guy marries a witch and like wackiness ensues, and it's not an ongoing one-season arc. And so, I mean, I can give you example. I think Stranger Things could have ended at season one and would have been better. Russian Doll. I just think a lot of shows, they give you one great season, and then it's like, oh, we got re-upped. Somebody come up with a plot.
Right. I mean, Angelo, I saw you nodding heavily there. You agree with that?
Yeah, Glen is right that so many of these series now are one idea, and then they go, oh, my God, we got to do another season? We don't know what to do with it. And you could I watched the second season of Beef, and it sucked, all right? but there's a bigger issue here. The Today Show this morning. I'm now referencing morning TV, Rhea. That's how far removed I am.
To me, thank you very much.
They did a whole thing on it, on how they have to figure out now whether binging is hurting second seasons. Because if you could see a whole season in a week or a day, and then you got to wait a year, you're less inclined to, you're not as invested in it. And I think there's something to that. I don't know, Rhea, is there something to that?
Oh, I will tell you, two of the shows you referenced I was a fan of. Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Angelo and I both loved season one. Season two started off slowly. It got really good in the middle. It gripped me. It didn't stick the ending, but it took a little while. The Night Agent, I will tell you, I know exactly what happened there. I originally watched The Night Agent because I actually had read the book by, I believe, Matthew Quirk. Terrific book. I don't think he wrote any follow-up books to it. So the next two seasons, I didn't care for. And I think it's because the guy who wrote it, I don't know if he was involved. I'm just taking a wild guess that maybe he wasn't involved in it. And, but here's the thing is, here's where I will say, and I'll disagree. If you tell a great story, you and I hated season 3 and 4 of Bear. I didn't finish either of them. I hated them so much. You text me and said, season 5 is phenomenal. And it was. Absolutely loved it. So it just really comes down to in season 2, the next season that you do, you got to grip the people early on. Good Girls Guide to Murder didn't do it. Night Agent didn't do it.
But Rhea, you're dead on with that. That was the example I was going to say. Season 5 of The Bear was so effective because you could experience it quickly. Like in a week, you could watch the whole series. Jay, did you watch season 5 of The Bear yet?
I did, and we disagreed on Larry David. I agree with you on The Bear. I mean, it was a return to form, and it was great to be able to just sit down and watch a story from beginning to end. I thought it was fantastic.
I started Bear last night. I watched the first 2 episodes and can't give you a full opinion, but I would say, the first 2 episodes, clearly better than it was in the last few years. But I'm wondering how much the viewership has dropped off and people just like, I'm not coming back.
Well,
which goes to our main point, right?
Very true. But
Glenn, I will tell you because
binging.
Angelo told me. Angelo was at episode 7 was as close to the 7 fishes as any episode in The Bear.
I know. I'm
great.
But here's the thing. To that one.
Here's the thing. Now we got to come up with some consensus here on whether we would like to watch shows released weekly, the way HBO and Apple have always done, or whether we want a full-fledged binge. And Glenn's already shaking his head, but Glenn, it seems like that hurts the next seasons. You don't think so?
It may hurt the ratings of the next season, but I don't care. I like to watch a show basically over the course of 1 or 2 weeks. Like the next, I tell my wife, okay, there's 7 episodes. We're set for the next week, and then we move on. Just one other note on this. I think one of the other reasons that shows fall off so much is there's so damn much TV and so many options that like I'm caught up in something else. I'm not going back to that.
Yeah, I do think, guys, that in the old days, Glenn, you brought it up, they were called situation comedies, sitcoms. The idea was you didn't tune in for the story, you tuned in for that week's situation. And that is a model that can last for 10 years. Yeah. But if you're telling a story, eventually you get to the end of the story, and that's when the show is over. And I think that we need to find something that is a way to make a compromise between those two things. All right, let's move on to, Angelo, I want to start with you because this is a movie about retirement called Cocoon.
It's a movie about old people. Just say it. If you look at Wilford Brimley in that movie, he's like basically my age. People age differently in the 80s. We all look great compared to the Cocoon people. But in 1985, there was a movie called Cocoon. It won an Oscar for Don Amici. It was a big hit. It was the 5th highest grossing movie of 1985. And guys, you can't get it right now. You can't go and buy the DVD. You can't stream it. You can't download it. The DVD is going on the black market for hundreds of dollars, which, by the way, if you're spending $200 to buy a DVD of Cocoon, reevaluate everything that you've done in life. But it's a Fox. It's a deal with music rights. We've seen this with Willow and True Lies. One of the best TV shows ever, WKRP in Cincinnati. You can't watch because of that. Angelo, what can we do about lost media like this? This is a travesty, right? Nothing. We should do nothing. This is a good thing. Let me explain.
Really?
Now, I'm going to reference something that I know you've seen. Glenn, I know you've seen. Rhea, you've seen it. It's one of the greatest movies ever made. It's probably the best movie Alfred Hitchcock ever made, Rear Window.
Yeah.
In 1968, it came out in 54. But they would replay films in movie theaters because we didn't have access otherwise, and he didn't sell it to television. So in 1968, he decided to embargo Rear Window. He said, "I don't want it. I'll bring it back in 20 years, and people will go nuts that it's like a brand new movie again." And it's exactly what happened. And people went wild when it came back. It got a whole new release, and people were going crazy for it. It's cool. Why do we have a right to every single movie ever made? We're already getting 98% of them. I like holding a little something back. I think it's a good thing. And by the way, I've done some research, and you were wrong that it's not available streaming. Cocoon is available streaming in one country right now. And if you have a VPN, which is a legal device that allows you to make it
Kind of
appear
shaky
you're from
legally.
what's that, Rhea?
It's a little shaky legally.
It's shaky but legal. It is available on Amazon in Japan.
Oh,
Of course.
and they
all I
actually
got.
digitally put in Godzilla, which actually makes it a lot better, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Glenn, do you agree with this? Is Angelo correct here? Do we have a right to have these movies?
Yeah, we do have. Yeah, we. I mean, I don't know that we. I recently saw 1776 where they talk about the forming the Declaration of Independence. I didn't see it in the Constitution. I don't think it's one of the 10 amendments in the Bills of Rights, but I do think in good faith, we should have a right to see them. The example I can give you that I went through personally similar to this was years back, I wrote a book, the ultimate book of gangster movies with George Anastasia, and we couldn't get Bronx Tale at the time. They had taken that off the market. And for like 10 years, it disappeared. I don't know why. I don't know what the rights. Maybe it was music. There was music in it.
A lot
it
of
did
music.
come back. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody should have the right to get everything. I'm a free market guy, as apparently contrasted to Angelo.
Socialism versus free market. Rhea, where do you fall on this?
Would love, I mean, and I'm in radio, so I would WKRP I grew up with.
Yeah.
But it's so I would love to see it again because it was just riotously funny. But it all comes down to money. Everything always followed the money trail. They would have to pay for the money. They would have to pay residuals to the actors, or I'm assuming their estates if they're not alive anymore. And one show, I can't remember which one they did it. It was a medical show. What they did was they removed the music and they just put in generic music. And apparently it was horrible.
Yeah, ruins the show.
Yeah, it does, because the music obviously pays. I saw a great thing this weekend about Rocky, the guy who composed the music for the run up the stairs. It was so wild to hear him talk about it, like how much the music was as much a character as Rocky running up those steps. So yeah, they just don't want to pay for it. That's what it comes down to.
What I don't understand, Rhea, and from a business point of view, these music rights holders, how is 100% of nothing better than 10%
Exactly.
of something? That's
right.
it makes
Glenn,
no sense to me.
Jay, these are old movies, so they're old songs.
Yeah.
How much is the song valued at this point? By playing it in a movie, you have a chance to sell it again by the streaming. If it's nowhere, how is anybody going to make any money off it?
You bring up a great point, Stranger Things, which I loved for 3 seasons and then it kind of fell off. Kate Bush had a song that was like 25 years old and it charted again.
Yeah.
It became a massive hit and she made a ton of money off of it.
All right, Rhea, I want to stay with you here. I'm a guy that buys a lot of digital media. I don't like having like rows of DVDs in my house. I just like having my Apple TV. Everything's on there. And I saw this thing from Sony, and it scared me because they lost a deal with a distributor. So about 500 movies that people had purchased on Sony. Now I'm not a Sony guy, but they bought them. They gave Sony $15, saying what you would do for a DVD. And Sony sent them a letter going, whoopsie doodle, we're sorry, you don't own them anymore. In September, you can't watch them. Number one, that's insane, right? And number two, I'm curious, how do you buy media? Do you buy media at all, or do you just stream? Like how do you do it in your house?
I just stream because I'm already spending my money. I really will only pay for something if it's a show. Once in a while, I get a hankering for a newspaper movie, and I will go and rent Stoplight because I'm in the mood to watch a great movie about newspapers. So if I'm in the mood, I'll pay the $3.99. I never ever buy. That's just not something I ever do. But I'm curious, Jay, because mean, you probably know this better than me. Can the people who have that on their TV, can they download it to their DVR?
Not usually. For Apple, you can't do that. It's
Okay.
just it exists. You can download it temporarily, but you can't burn it to a DVD or
Got it.
do anything like
Okay.
that. There's no way to make it permanent. Glenn, what about you? Are you a media guy? Are you like how do you do this?
I haven't bought a movie since they had a closeout on VCRs at Blockbuster Video. Not the porno section, by the way.
Sure.
I this is all entirely foreign to me. I go on, I see what's available. I either get it for free, I'll rent it off of Amazon Prime for whatever $3.95, and I'm done with it. Once I've seen it, why do I need to keep it in a library?
Yeah, that's a very fair point.
I mean, it's
Angelo,
just me. I know everybody's got their stuff. I'm not a collector of that.
yeah.
I don't believe in personal attacks. It's never been my style.
Sure. Right.
But if you, other than kids' movies are separate. Kids will watch movies 100 times.
Exactly.
If you're spending $25 on some movie so that you can own it, and then it sits somewhere for 100 years, there's a term for the person who does that. It's called a sucker. All right?
Sucker.
No one does that. Jay, when you hit the buy button, is there like a little laughter in the background saying, "Oh, we got one, we got one"? You gotta be. It's friggin' stupid. Why are you doing it?
I do hear my wife shaking her head in disgust behind me. Listen, if I look at it, if it's a movie that I think I'll watch more than twice, I usually buy it. And my son, I don't know, I'm a dope. I just like buying it and owning it. And I feel like a complete idiot. Angelo, I didn't feel like an idiot till I read this article about Sony deleting stuff that you buy. That's insane to me.
Jay, maybe if you didn't spend all your money on junk like this, you wouldn't have to go on a friggin' boat every 3 weeks to entertain people.
Yeah, that is fair. That is very fair. And you know what, guys, let's talk about you being good with your money, because I am obviously not. But Angelo, I know a guy that you can go to and be good with your money and get value for your money. Tell me about it.
Jay, many years ago, I said to myself, you're brilliant on a lot of things, but not everything. You're not brilliant about jewelry. You have no clue what you're doing. At this point, you better find somebody who's honest and knows his stuff and can help you. And one of the very first things I did is, once I realized that my second wife was worth keeping this time, I went to Steven Singer Jewelers and I got a new diamond for her that was bigger than the original one. I didn't know she'd be this good. And what the experience taught me so much about, how important it is that the guy you see at a jewelry store is honest with you on the quality of the diamond, the value of it, how much it costs. And even playing games, there's no price tags on it. And that was the day, that was like 25 years ago, that I realized, you know what? This is one guy who understands how to sell jewelry to people like us who really don't know much about it. He's honest, he's fair, and he's got great stuff. Steven Singer Jewelers. Rhea?
And it was funny, we don't usually plan this out. I never know what direction we're going in, but I got some stuff on there. If you're going to get engaged, go to Steven Singer. He will take care of you. Beautiful jewelry. I wanted to find something fun this week. And I went on, and we've got the 250th anniversary of our country, born here in Philadelphia, and all of the World Cup stuff that was here in Philadelphia. So I found these really fun things. So here's this. It's the Liberty Bell. Okay,
nice.
That's one. And let me show you the next one. It's the love. We know the love statue.
Cool.
Both of them under $200. So if you got somebody who's like totally into history and all that kind of stuff, or loves Philadelphia, really cool stuff at Steven Singer Jewelers. And you can click on it under trendy. He's got lots of fun stuff on there.
Other corner of 8 the Walnut, also available now in Newtown. They have a new place in Newtown. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com.
The only thing that we love more than Steven Singer is our weekly British segment with Rhea Hughes. Rhea, what do you got for us this week?
So I was super excited. Season 2 of Inspector Ellis dropped on Acorn. And I was waiting to tell you, because it kind of deals with what we were talking about earlier. And then, hello, is that your wife or your daughter?
That was my daughter, Annabelle. She's on the road with me. So we're in Wisconsin, and she's having fun in the background there.
I love it. Whatever daughter wants to do, go to Wisconsin with her father.
She's a big cheesehead. What can I tell you?
There you go. So what's great about this is, I saw it drop. Now, you guys know I reviewed season 1. It's a police procedural. Here's what's different about it. You always hear about the oddball detective, pairing. This is an older Black woman paired with a younger white guy. And their relationship is really good. It was awkward at first. They have a really funny scene early in season 2 where she is aghast that he has never seen The Godfather. So it's really fun that they brought that in. Yeah. But I was so excited it was back. I went last night. I got time before the Phillies game, 1 episode. I'm not getting the next episode, I think, till today. It's what she does. What this series does is does 2 stories across 2 episodes. So it'll be 4 total. And this one, and it's in Northern England. She's kind of a fixer. She's a detective, DCI, which higher ranking, gets dropped into cases that really the people who are on site in these small towns can't solve, which creates a lot of problems. But she's terrific. The relationship between her and the younger detective is very good. It's not a comedy. It's a little bit dark at times, but it has comedic relief, which I like. That's kind of my favorite thing. So Inspector Ellis on Acorn has just dropped, and you will not be able to binge it.
You got to watch it week to week.
Wow.
All right. So I want to, Glenn, I want to talk to you about your TV picks. But before we get to that, this is a very exciting thing that you're doing. You have Ray Dittinger and Joe Conklin and you, the 3 of you, are going to be on August 6th at the Ocean City Music Pier to do a show called The Greatest Moments in Philadelphia Sports History. And I want you to tell me about that show real fast, but also tell me how people can get tickets, because that sounds really cool.
Sure. So the show is basically Ray and I tell stories and Conklin creates chaos. It's a 90-minute cheer fest of the greatest episodes, moments, plays in Philadelphia sports history. You will get up and cheer. We show highlights. We tell stories. We have interviews. Done it a few times. Audiences really enjoy it. As you said, we're at the Ocean City Music Pier. Now, what I've discovered is there's a lot of third-party ticket sellers out there, if you just Google Ocean City Music Pier or our show, who will rip you off. So we created our own website address. Go to greatestphillysports.com and you can get tickets cheap, or at least at face value. greatestphillysports.com. It's the evening of August 6th. You're going to be down at the shore looking for fun, and this will be fun.
And, if you listen to our show, there's a really good chance you already know who Ray Dittinger and Joe Conklin are. But, if you don't, Ray Dittinger is a fantastic NFL expert of experts, right? And, Glenn is a radio legend. And Joe Conklin is a really good comedian. As a comedian, I don't like to compliment other comedians. It goes against my soul. But Joe is a fantastic comic. So not only are you going to get...
I got to say, let me get in with one thing here. I saw a form of this without Ray and Glenn that is absolutely one of the best things I've ever seen. I said to Joe, this is your master work. Bringing in Ray and Glenn, don't miss that show. Yeah. That is going to be a phenomenal show, and I'm going to get tickets myself. I got to get over there, Glenn.
I'd love to have you.
I'd love to. Let's do a dinner that night. I'll come down. We'll do dinner. We'll go to the show.
What's the date, Glenn? What's the date?
August the 6th.
Yep.
Is the date. greatestphillysports.com.
Yeah, Angelo, go to greatestphillysports.com and buy tickets, because he's not going to give you comps. You got to go buy tickets.
I don't want comps.
Hey, man,
buy the tickets.
We rented out that theater ourselves. We got to sell a lot of tickets. Glenn,
I've seen concerts in there. I saw who did the guy a Great American Pie? Don
McClain.
I saw him there 2 years ago.
It's a great
venue. Old crowd. I'll be honest. It was a old crowd.
Really? Not a lot of teeny boppers at the McLean?
And real quick, you never let me do this when you work there, but Joe DeCamera is way nicer than you are. I'm off every Friday in the summer. So that's a
Wow.
Thursday.
It's a
So
Thursday
let's
evening. Yeah.
let's plan dinner and go out.
Rhea,
That
do you want
sounds
me to
great.
tell him why? She's off because she doesn't like to drive all the way to Atlantic City.
My
Oh,
shore
so you'll
house
drive
is
to
30
Ocean City.
my shore house is 30 minutes from there.
Okay, whatever.
All right, Glenn, do you have a pick for us this week, TV wise? What do you
Well,
want to chat about?
I've got two, and I'll give you quickly. I'm a big fan of Harlan Coben. I've read most of his mysteries. He's got a permanent deal with Netflix. They've done 13 series based on his books. The newest one is I Will Find You. It's not the best of the 13, but it's pretty good. It's a well crafted, formulaic, twisty mystery about a guy serving a life sentence for murdering his son, who, spoiler, did not actually murder his son, breaks out of prison to find him. You have to suspend disbelief a lot because a lot of it is implausible. But if you just let it wash over you like a good popcorn kind of show, it moves very quick. 7 episodes on Netflix. I Will Find You. The other one, and I know I'm going to get some brushback on this, is Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Unhappiness. I see that receding hairline shaking already. It's Larry David's vehicle for the 250th. No more receding here. We're done. Anyway, it's half-hour episodes on HBO, 3 or 4 sketches of Larry David sticking himself like Zelig in some moment in American history. He's on the bus with Rosa Parks, and he's so annoying that she decides to move to the back of the bus. I will say this because I know Angelo's itching to speak. It's pretty uneven. Some of them are better than others. The
Agreed.
Alexander Graham Bell one was a bore. The best, and the one that got all the buzz last week, the late Rob Reiner, in his last acting role, played George Washington announcing in a public square that he wasn't going to run for a 3rd term. And Larry played a guy in the crowd saying, well, what if some narcissistic prick decides to ignore the Constitution and go after his critics and hold on to power? And Rob Reiner, from the grave, got the last shot at Trump. So that was all pretty brilliant.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, go ahead, because some of them aren't that good.
Angelo disagrees.
Well, all I'm going to say is this. I was not aware. I did not watch the 2nd episode, but now I will reserve judgment based on what Glenn just said. Because you can't stop truth. That's the way I look at it. Yeah. So I'm going to check it out. I got a couple of things here. I just want to mention this amazing news that my son gave me this morning. You know how much I love Sacha Baron Cohen. Borat.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this. Yeah, big news.
He's got a new movie coming out, but it's not Borat.
Nope.
It's Da Ali G.
Wow.
Oh, I love that character. Believe it or not, Trump was involved with him too many years ago.
Yes, he was.
And he's just and he's got a new movie coming out, and I just can't wait. And I just want everybody to know we will keep you updated on that because it's so exciting. And the terrific movie that I saw this week, and I've decided now, since I've been bitching so much about all the stupid movies with superheroes and explosions, all that, I will go out and find the real movies. Good stories, well told, even if it costs me money. And I rented this for $19.99 on Amazon. I did not buy it for $24.99 because I knew it would be great. And it's called Tuner, and it stars Leo Woodall, and in a really small performance, but it's just great to see him again. Dustin Hoffman is in it, and it's still great. And the movie is fantastic. It's this story about a guy who's got an ear affliction. He can't hear any loud noises, drive him insane. But he also has such a sensitive ear that he can pick locks. He gets involved with a crime group, and it's just a great story. And this Leo Woodall is terrific in it. I didn't find out till after the movie that he's been dating Megan Fahey. So God bless him on that too. That's 3 years. I love Megan. So I just tune her. You don't have to buy it. It'll be out in a week or two, probably on Apple or Netflix or one of those. And watch it when it comes out. It's got twists, but they're not stupid twists. It's unpredictable without being ridiculous. And no shootouts, no explosions, just the story well told. Imagine that.
I love that. And, Angelo, I once had a drink with Dustin Hoffman at a party in Hollywood.
You did?
We were sitting next to each other in a living room in the Hollywood Hills, and all we talked about was his garbage retrieval was really bad at his house. And he was talking about it for maybe 10 minutes, and I was like, that was it. That's all we talked about was how bad the garbage men were in LA. So I wish I had a better story, but that's what he wanted to talk about.
This is your problem, Jay. You could have pitched him one of your scripts.
Yeah, I mean, but the only script I had was about a great garbage man. He wouldn't have been into it, Angelo. All right, Angelo, what did we talk about this week?
All right, if you want to see why Beef lost half its audience, it's available on Netflix. We all said The Bear Season 5 is fantastic, and it is a binge on Hulu. Yeah. Rear Window, available now. It wasn't for 20 years. On Amazon and Apple for $4. Cocoon, available on Amazon, but only in Japan. And some week we should talk about these VPNs. It's fascinating what you could do with them. It's a whole new way to watch movies. Anyway, Inspector Ellis is very good, and it's on Acorn. I Will Find You is on Netflix. Life, Larry, and the Pursuit of Unhappiness is on HBO Max. And Tuner is in theaters now, available on Amazon for $19.99.
That man right there is Angelo Cataldi. You can get his book Loud at his website, angelocataldi.com or amazon.com or audible.com. Rhea Hughes can be heard every morning on the WIP Morning Show. You can listen to it on the Odyssey app anywhere in the world, maybe even in space. We don't know. And you can also check out her great Instagram, which is Rhea Hughes 94 WIP. That person right there is Glen MacNow, one of the best ever, and he's going to be with Ray Dittinger, Joe Conklin at the Ocean City Music Pier on August 6th with their show, The Greatest Moments in Philly Sports History. Go to greatestphillysports.com. Did I get that right, Glenn? Greatestphillysports.com. Do it right now. You're going to love it. And I'm Jay Black. If you like political rants, I just crossed 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm getting a silver play button, everybody. But it's all insane politics that I won't say which side I'm on, but let's just say me and Larry David agree a lot. We want to thank our great sponsor, Steven Singer Jewelers, and we want to thank you for listening every single week. We'll be back next week with more great TV content. Thanks, everybody.